Some data leaders will never be in the room where decisions are made. And if that's you, that is not a failure. It is a structural issue. Because when you don't have access to the decision, your data starts to drift away from what actually matters. In this video, I'm going to show you how that happens and what you can do about it. You might not have a front door view into the decision being made with the data your team produces. You get the requests after the fact, you get the question, but not the decision. And that distance matters. When you don't have decision access, data starts to feel like a product. A dashboard to deliver, an analysis to turn around, a request to fulfill. But what's missing is context. You don't hear the trade-offs. You don't hear what leaders are actually trying to decide. So teams end up optimizing for output instead of clarity. Here's a real example. My team supported a location strategy decision. We were asked to analyze where people sat in the organization, and we did what data teams do. We looked at reporting lines, manager proximity, productivity, and collaboration. All reasonable, but that was not the decision. The business was thinking about budget and talent strategy. Where is the strongest talent? What does the talent cost? And where do we get the most value for our investment? Once we understood that, our analysis had to adapt. It wasn't about where the talent sat today. It was about where the talent actually was and where it made strategic sense to grow. Same data, different context. One of the best things that happened to me as a senior data professional was working for a manager who had direct access to where the decision was made. They were in the room, they heard the debate, they understood what decisions actually were being made. And things shifted. We stopped asking what we could build, and we started asking what can we provide to make the decisions easier. Great data leadership is not about producing more data. It's about helping people clearly see trade-offs so a decision can actually be made. Context is contagious. When leaders have context, the questions improve. When questions improve, the analysis improves. And when analysis improves, decisions get clearer. If you're leading a data team without decision access, simply accepting that limitation will cap your impact. Your job is not to accept that limitation. Your job is to shrink that distance between your team and the decision. Here's how you can do it. If you can get access, ask what decision the data supports. Ask what was debated, not just what was requested. If you can't, find the people closer to the decision. They could be business partners, peer managers, trusted intermediaries. Work with them. That's how context spreads. Your value as a data leader is not just what your team produces. It's how close you can get the work your data team produces to the decisions that matters. And every step you take to shrink that distance increases your impact.